Welcome to math. Let's warm up our brains with some number stories. These number stories have unknowns, so I'd like you to get out your whiteboard and your marker. And you remember when there's an unknown, we put a box around it or we circle it so we know that that is our answer. So here's our first question, our first number story. Michael caught 3 fish, then he caught 2 more fish. How many fish did Michael catch? So it wants to know how many did he catch. So that means we're adding, right? So Michael caught 3 fish. So your first number is going to be 3. Then he caught 2 more. Remember we talked about that we're adding. So our unknown is at the end. Wants to know how many fish. We've talked about labeling so we know what we're counting. So what is 3 plus 2? If you don't know what 3 plus 2 is, start with the bigger number, 3, and then add 2. 4, 5. So that is your unknown. All right, let's try the next one. There were 6 blankets in the closet. Lydia took out some blankets. Now there are 2 blankets in the closet. How many blankets did Lydia take out? So when it says the words, how many blankets did they take out, wants to know, so it means that some are missing, okay? So there are 6 blankets in the closet, so that's what we start with, our number 6. Lydia took out some blankets, so again, we're subtracting because they took out some. Some is our unknown. Now there are 2 blankets in the closet, so our answer is 2. And again, we're going to label it blankets. Blankets, so we want to figure out how many blankets are left. So if you know what 6 take away something that equals 2, or you might even know 2 plus what equals 6. See, I know that 4 plus 2 equals 6. So I know the unknown is 4. 4, 5, 6, or I could do 6, take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 2 left over. Right? Perfect. Amos has some posters on his wall. He took down 3 posters. Now he has 5 posters on his wall. How many posters were on his wall to start? So took down probably means that they were taking away. So Amos has some posters on his wall. So what's our first number? Yeah, we don't know. It's an unknown. He took down 3 posters. So he took down 3 posters. It wants to know how many posters. Oh, now he has 5 posters on his wall. So the answer is 5 posters. But that's not the answer that we want. We want the unknown. So what take away 3 equals 5? Or again, 5 plus 3 equals what? Yeah, if you're saying 8, great. 8 take away 3 equals 5, or 5 plus 3 equals 8. Nice work. So now let's talk about our math message. So this will be attached to your activity in Seesaw. Is your journal closer to 5 toothpicks long or 10 toothpicks long? Why do you think so? Record your answer. So it's not asking you to measure. It wants to know, is your journal closer? So your journal is your math journal. Your math journal. Is your math journal closer to 5 toothpicks? And you should all have toothpicks. Here's a toothpick. You should have toothpicks in your math toolkit. Your math toolkit looks like this. You should have 6 toothpicks in there if you took care of your math toolkit. Okay. Is your journal closer to 5 toothpicks long or 10 toothpicks long? Now again, you're not measuring. Looking at this toothpick and looking at this math book, how many toothpicks long do you think your math book is? Do you think it's 5 toothpicks long or 10 toothpicks long? So you're going to write your answer, and then why do you think so? Why do you think it's 5 or why do you think it's 10? All right. Again, this will be an activity on Seesaw. It goes with this lesson. All right, so today we're going to talk about estimating. Estimating or making a good guess about the length. Do you remember when we estimated before, when we counted objects? We estimated how many pennies were in the bag or how many tokens were in the bag, how many pennies in the cup. So that's what you're going to do today. So I have a brand new pencil, and we're going to estimate, we're going to guess how many large paper clips. Is this pencil more than 3 paper clips long or less than 3 paper clips long? So if I was to measure, would there be 3 paper clips long or more paper clips long? So 3 paper clips long or less than 3 paper clips? More than 3 paper clips long or less than 3 paper clips long? What do you think? So we're estimating, we're guessing, we're making an educated guess. So hold up your finger if you think it's 3, less than 3. Hold up 3 fingers if you think it's less than 3. Hold up your whole hand if you think it's more than 3. All right, so again, we're estimating, so we're going to guess, but to show you, I want to show you how to make sure that we know when we get done estimating, we're going to have to check to see if we're right or wrong, right? So remember before we talked about starting right on the edge, okay? The 2 items should measure right on the edge. And then if you only have 1 paper clip, then you could put a piece of paper underneath there and make a mark. I happen to have 2 paper clips, so let's see if I can have a steady hand and we'll measure this. I have to be careful I don't push the other paper clip. The other thing I want to make sure that you know is that you have to use the same units. So I can't measure with a paper clip and a toothpick. Okay, that wouldn't make any sense. They're not the same length. I also have to be careful I'm measuring with the same length of paper clips, because I could measure with a small paper clip, but I can't measure with the big and small paper clips. So make sure your paper clips, if you're doing big paper clips, you're using big paper clips. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Is it more than 3 or less than 3? So I've got 2 so far. I'm going to take this out, carefully put it up in front. Now we've got 3. So right there we know that it's more than 3, right? More than 3. So if you had your whole hand up, then you had a good guess, a good estimate. All right, now let's try something else. How many cubes do you think this box of dried fruit is from here to here? Do you think it's more than 5 or less than 5? How many cubes do you think it's more than 5 or less than 5 from here to here? Okay, now I only have 1, so let's do this. If it's less than 5, I want you to close your fist and hold it up high. If it's more than 5, I want you to open your hand and hold it up high. Now remember, we're just making a guess, so it's okay if we're wrong. Some people are better at guessing than other people, but we can always practice, okay? So closed fist if you think it's less than 5, open fist if you think it's more than 5. All right, because I only have 1 cube, I'm going to show you how to measure on a piece of paper. So I want to start right on the edge, and I'm going to put, oops, gotta get you on the camera here. Make sure it's right on the edge. We don't want it off the edge. We want it right on the edge. Now I'm going to take the cube, and I'm going to take a pencil. I'm going to put the cube right next to the box and make sure the cube is right on the edge as well. And I'm going to mark it. So here's 1 cube. Now I'm going to move it in front of the line. Again, right on the edge of that line. Takes a steady hand. You have to go slow. Hold it. Mark it. There's 2. Hold it. Mark it. There's 3. Keep doing it till you get all the way to the end. So this is how you measure if you only have one object. You have to mark it. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes. Probably a little more than 6 cubes. Okay. So if you had an open hand, raised high, you got that estimate right. Nice job. And again, we're just guessing, but after you get done guessing, it's always nice to see if you're close or not. So go ahead and practice measuring. Remember, it has to be right on the edge. If you have more than one object, you can line them up, right? We want to make sure that we're right end to end, though. Do not overlap. You cannot overlap like this. That wouldn't make any sense to measure. You want to be right end to end. That's why I drew the lines, and then I made the cube go above the line again. Then I drew the next line and made the cube go above the line. Perfect. All right, so there's some ways to measure. So today you're going to practice measuring page 46. So on page 46, it says measure your desk or table. Use anything in your measuring kit to measure your desk or your table. It says the desk table is about blank long. So you get to use anything you want. You can use orange square. I wouldn't use a penny. You can use the big paper clips. You could use the one die. You could use the 6. You could use toothpicks, and you could use the small paper clips. Okay? I would not use pennies to measure though. So measure your desk or table. So if you're at home, you can measure your table. If you're at school, you can measure your desk. Okay? The desk is about blank long. You have to tell me what you're using. Okay? 6 toothpicks long, or 20 die long if you're going to use your die. Okay? If you don't have your measuring kit, if you don't have anything, just find something in your house that you can measure. Just tell me what you're measuring with. Measure a marker. Use anything in your measuring kit to measure. The marker is something, toothpicks long or paper clips long. You have to tell me how many and what you're measuring by. Measure your math journal. So now you're going to measure your math journal. Use paper clips to measure. The math journal is about blank paper clips long. So this time it's telling you to measure with paper clips. Measure the fish. Use cubes to measure. The fish is about blank unit cubes long. So you should all have one of these. If you don't have one of these, then you can't measure this. Okay? You're going to do the same thing I did. You start at the end and you mark it and you go all the way across, making sure that your cube is right on the line and goes all the way across. Okay? And then you're going to tell me how many unit cubes long. Perfect. And then the other thing, you have math boxes. So I'm going to quick read it for you. Use your number line. Start at 3. Count up 6. Where do you land? So find your number line in your blue binder. Use your number line. Solve. So you can continue using your number line. 4 plus what equals 6? So 4, how many hops do you get to 6? That's your answer. Or 6, take away 4. So now you're going to hop backwards, and what do you land on? Can you count up to solve both number sentences? Write the sum. So there you have the dots on there. So here's 5 on this side, 4 on this side. 5 plus 4 equals, you got to tell me how many. 6 plus 3, again, there's 6 dots here, 3 dots here. You have to tell me how many altogether. Writing, reasoning. How many posters are on your classroom wall? Blank posters. Explain how you counted. So if you're not in the classroom, you can't do that one. You could tell me how many posters are in your bedroom if you have posters in your bedroom. Okay? All right. And that is it. So When you're done, you have your math message. You have page 46 and 47 to post to Seesaw. Again, make sure you're measuring correctly. No overlapping. No, this is overlapping when they're on top of each other. Okay, oops, you can't see. That's overlapping when they're on top of each other. No gaps. All right, it has to be end to end. And you have to make sure you're using the same units. You can't use big paper clips with little paper clips or cubes with paper clips. You have to use the same unit. All right, have a great day.